All right, Allie, let's take a look at your paper. MLA format first, so you're good up here, good through here. Preparation to perfection. You and Alyssa must have helped each other out with your titles because this is nearly, she used different words, but it was something to something, determination to defeat or something like that. So you guys must be helping each other out. And I'll tell you the same thing I told her. Good alliteration, but it's not specific. It's not, I don't know, engaging, I guess. I actually see how yours works a little bit better with your topic, but I still would probably tweak it a little bit. All right, so some may say it is what is on the inside that counts, but in horse showmanship, it is all about what is on the outside. So in your attention getter first statement, you're jumping right into the topic of horse showmanship. I think you need to elongate this. So start with that, inside counts, but talk about the outside, talk about in relationships, whatever, and then draw it into the idea of horse showmanship, something like that. Showmanship is all about the look. When you walk into that ring, the judges are basing almost half, I think it's half you were looking for, half of your clean and neat presentation, extra space here, of you and your horse. You might want to look at how that sentence is formed, and there's quite a few sentences that are off here, Allie, so we're going to want to look at them as we move forward. And now you're jumping into your main points here, talking about before the show, what you got to do to get prepared. I don't think it's clear at the beginning what your actual topic is. Your topic is how to impress the judges during horse showmanship. And I don't think that's clear quite yet. So make sure your topic is clear here at the beginning. And then you get into your main points here. It does not include just the day of, but the night before as well. You wouldn't need a comma there. Show day, you yourself have to know what you're doing, so you don't need that. On show day, you have to know what you're doing, but better yet, show the judges that you know what you are doing. Is that not the same thing? Like, if you know what you're doing, then the judges will obviously know what you're doing. I don't know. That was kind of confusing. There are lots of components to the aspect of horse showing, which you don't really talk about too much. So I'm not really clear what your main points are. I've already read your first main point. I know it's about the night before what you should do, but I don't get a clear sense of what all your main points are going to be in your paper. It's not necessarily clear. Your thesis is good. I wouldn't say it's great, but it's good. Because the part that I have a problem with is execute a pattern, which I'm assuming means, once you're in the ring, this is how you win a horse showmanship, but you don't talk about that at all up here. So that's why I'm a little bit skeptical on, your main points being clear. All right, before all the lights come on and the judges step out to watch what you've got, there are some things you need to complete. Weak topic sentence. Even if you said this was your topic sentence, I still feel like that's weak too. So I would really work on a stronger, first sentence here that really is your message statement of this paragraph. The night before, you must give them a bath. Using lots of soap equals for equals amounts of shine. I think you just got too many equals in there. And I don't know what equal amount of shine means either. Maybe you want to be specific with that one. Don't need all here. You need to get your mane and tail conditioned. And manageable, I think, is what you meant there. So you talk about banding, which is good. Don't need a comma here. Don't have two complete sentences on either side, so you don't need that comma there. I love put its PJs on. That's for some reason that's really funny to me. And this is hilarious. I mean, I know it's not supposed to, but the fact that it's called a sleazy is really funny. So you gotta wrap your horse up, that it stays clean for the night before the show. Weak transition statement though. So you need a strong transition statement to say, the preparation that you do the night before will lead to you wouldn't say preparation, it would preparation right before you walk out on the stage, because everything is the morning of routine. All right, so topic sentence again is weak here, Allie. During, or how would you want to say this? On the morning of your competition, comma, you must get up promptly and check on your horse to prepare them for the morning preparation. So notice prepare, preparation. So that kind of word choice is bogging this down a little bit. And even the sentence structure is kind of bogging it down. So you want to make sure that you have stronger sentences there. So you talk about dressing yourself, which is fine. Again, go back, Allie. You got a couple places where you have too many spaces in between words. Several times throughout this paragraph I've seen that. So I want to go back and look at that. So there's another one. So you talk about this marked pattern again, which again, this is the first time you mentioned it in your thesis, but this is the first time you really mentioned it, and you don't mention it again in the rest of this. So I won't even bring up the whole pattern thing until your transition statement at the end of this paragraph. So we just know right now that we have to look our absolute best. Okay. This is new information for me. I didn't know you physically put on makeup on a horse, so that's intriguing. But again, make sure, and I think you do a relatively okay job with this as far as making sure it's unique, making sure you have unique language. You know, you attach the horse's hair extensions, otherwise known as the fake tail, and stringing them. So you split the horse's tail halfway, getting separate pieces of hair, so comma, and stringing them through 2 holes on the top of the fake tail, finally putting it in a braid to secure it, something like that. After this, I think is what you meant. After this is hoof polish. If your horse has black hooves, comma, you use black, and if they are white, you use a clear coat. More edgy look. See, again, this is kind of funny to me. But maybe talk about why that's important. Why does it need to be edgy? Either, although you say you're here for business, but that's kind of a throwaway statement. That could mean anything. So maybe expand a little bit on that whole edgy look thing. So you get into the coat. What you need to put on the coat: face makeup. You got one. Not sure where all these apostrophes are coming from, so make sure you fix that. This glossy material, so no comma there, that you will start with, you put around, so poorly worded sentence. You're going to go back through and look at that sentence again. So it's supremely difficult to spray a horse's face. I get that. No space there, so put a space in there. Now, you talk about ways to make it calm, which is good. Okay, let's talk about in-text citation. Period goes at the end there. Period goes at the end there. So make sure that you have those. I like that you use the outside sources, which was good. I don't like that you said that your horse was drugged. With your horse drugged and cleaner than a whistle, those two things are literally the opposite. Being drugged and being clean is not the same thing. So I really would highly encourage you not to say that your horse is drugged, because it makes you look bad there. Can proceed to competing for the goal. And this is where I would add in the whole pattern thing that you have to do with your horse. All right, so topic sentence. When competing, you must make little to no mistakes if you want all your past hard work to matter. I like this idea. A lot of this, though, a lot of your thing is just about memorization and almost like just a look that you have. So I wonder if maybe there's a way that you can tie that into your topic sentence as well. Again, we have space issues. Too many spaces here. Sorry, just right here. So too many spaces there. We have our problem with our period not at the end of our in-text citation, so we got to fix that. This is probably your strongest paragraph, Allie, for voice, though. I like the details. You don't so you don't look like a duck. It looks as if you're holding a tray of cookies that you don't want to drop all over the ground. Like, that kind of stuff is the unique stuff that is going to draw people into your essay. So I really like that in this paragraph. You've done a lot of that in here, which is good. With your help, you keep your composure, I think is what you meant there, by giving the judges the wow factor they're looking for. You have a quote. Again, period needs to go at the end. Could be elongated a little bit here at the end, but really good details in here. I really like what you have in here. You have used 2 or 3 different outside sources, which is good. So keep that up. All right, let's get to our conclusion. All right, so you do a good job of repeating your thesis statement, although I think it show results in nothing but hard-earned success in the ring. I think you could reword that a little bit. There is nothing that will take your success away. You and your horse do not look flawless. If you and your horse do not look flawless, is that what you're trying to say? Let's go back and look at that. What I'm missing, though, is your main points clearly stated in a summary. Summary of your main points. That's what you got to do in here, and you're not doing that. Don't need a comma there. This is weak. If you follow these steps, you will win. There's something you must remember. This is a run-on sentence, so you got to fix that as well. Works cited page, we want another space in there. This would be first, and then second, then third. Since this is just horse and this is horse show central, all one word, this has got to be first, so I'd move that up as well. So not bad, Allie. I really think you got a lot of things going for you, but you really got to look at adding some more unique details. Really got to look at sentence structure and word choice to make sure everything makes sense, and that's where we talked about, having someone else look at it and making sure it reads exactly like you want it to read. And that might be giving it to somebody and just saying, hey, underline the phrases or the words that just don't make any sense, and then you going back and looking at it again, something like that. Hopefully we see a rewrite out of you in the future, so good luck.